What's the nice topic?
The nice topic is lovely Montgomery.
Oh yeah, the baseball thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go for that. Welcome back, everybody. This is Last Call. All right, yeah, go for it, Tim.
Yeah, so Sunbelt Baseball has had its baseball tournament in lovely Montgomery, and they just signed, what, a 5-year extension now
Yeah,
to
it's like
stay,
2031 or something like that. 2032 or
keep that tournament in Montgomery, Alabama.
Where?
I get reminded how misplaced we are in the Sun Belt whenever something like this comes up on the Sun Belt message board, because you got these fans of these other programs that are talking about how
Unsafe.
it's got it. Well, not even unsafe, just how it's got to be in a place that is easier for fans to attend and blah. I mean, let's be fair. Montgomery's pretty dead center of the conference, but they're talking about all these different cities, and they're not.
Is there an airport there?
Yeah,
Probably.
there's an airport. Yeah,
But
It's a really small town. I know it's the capital, but it's not big.
well, it kind of fits the college profile, right?
They're not even talking about big cities they want it to go to instead of like Biloxi or something like that. And the thing is, Mobile. One, the conference puts these tournaments like basketball and baseball. They put it out to bid by cities, like which cities want to bid on this and what will they do to the conference? What kind of guarantees can they give as far as hotel rooms and blah blah blah, right?
What about Columbus?
Montgomery's like the only city that responded for baseball. Like, all right, so we're not going to go to Biloxi if Biloxi doesn't want us there. Also, if we got into Biloxi instead of Montgomery, is the attendance for the Sun Belt baseball tournament going to skyrocket over Montgomery? Like, are you really going to bring in that many more people? Like, it doesn't matter where you put it. People said it should be in Atlanta because of the airport, like you said, Ryan. Whatever. I'm like, and I don't know. I mean, you're never going to like put it at a home school without it being like a rotating type thing or whatever. So I don't know where you would play it necessarily in Atlanta. However, no, you're not going to get any more people show up to it just because it's in Atlanta over Montgomery. 90% of the people that go to this thing are family. The players.
Yep.
What about
And
Birmingham?
then you may have a few diehard fans. Remember, I know like Southern Miss is really good at baseball, and Coastal Carolina is really good at baseball.
They probably still don't travel well compared to other sports for baseball, right? Baseball it can be in the black. I think that it sort of fluctuates program to program whether they're making money or not, but they're not making a lot of money if they are.
I mean, yeah, Lafayette, they actually have a pretty good turnout for their baseball games, but how many of those actually show up for tournament games?
Yeah.
And how many are showing up, and sticking around? You come for your team. Like the basketball tournament, if we were a top 4 seed in basketball tournament, we're going to go down to Pensacola. Like we'll get there the night before that game or the day of that game and ready to go. We're not going to go down for the entire week.
That's a lot.
And if you're a bottom team, you're not going to go, or if you do go, you're pretty much ready just to leave and come back home the next day.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you for the Pensacola tournament when we had Lanier here. I mean, I didn't have a reservation for multiple days. I had a reservation for a night, and that was it.
And just extend it as you needed.
I'll just extend as I go, right? Because I was feeling pretty good about our team, but I also was feeling like we might bow out in the semifinals, which is what we did. So, I mean, it was a fun time, but I wasn't going to book the entire weekend. I didn't feel like we were a shoe-in, So,
but the nice thing about a place like Pensacola is like, you can go there and say, look, if we lose, I'm just going to spend the weekend hanging out.
Yeah,
it
but
was
you're in
pretty
Pensacola
fun.
in like February. It's not like it's like the highs are like 60s. You're not really getting beach Pensacola.
Can I recommend something? Go to Tybee in the winter. It's awesome. Who gives a shit about the beach? All the restaurants and stuff are still open, and so you go there, and it's like it's dead, right? It's like locals only. There's no way that place, the Breakfast Club, that usually like in the summertime you go over there. It's like line out the door around the corner. You just walk right in, sit right down. It's the same food. It's awesome. Go in the winter. It's great.
we should have all had a group trip down to the Southern game and then kept going.
Mhm.
Went to Tybee.
It's not too late.
Kind of is too late.
Yeah, I don't want to ever want to go to Statesboro.
So,
Like I
but
said, if I drive that far, I can't imagine not just driving right by. And
yes, seriously. So where does baseball go though? I mean, I threw out Columbus. I threw out Birmingham. I'd much rather go to Birmingham. Columbus number 2, then Montgomery. I mean,
number
I feel
2.
like Biloxi's too far away. Like
I think Biloxi. I think the appeal there is one of the casinos has like a
baseball
baseball,
field. Yeah.
not a field, but like multiple diamonds. Like it's actually like a real nice like little setup made for
Tournaments.
some kind of tournaments or something like that, which would be great. But it sounds like they don't want us to be there. I don't know. There's people complaining, oh well, Montgomery's too close for Troy. Like if Troy's doing well, then it'll be like a home field for Troy. Who cares?
So there's going to be like 2 Troy fans there and
Both
one
of
of
them.
everybody else.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
Biloxi Shuckers Baseball Club plays
Dude,
at
I don't like the way you're talking to me, okay?
Shuckers.
Shuckers plays at the Kessler Federal Park.
So
Looks pretty.
the Savannah Bananas have the Banana Nanas, their dance team, which is old ladies that dance.
Nice.
I think that the Shuckers should have the Mother Shuckers.
Mm.
So we all agree that baseball doesn't matter where it's played.
I don't think it matters at all. Not
That's
until
sort of the end result of this is like who cares? We weren't going anyway. The one thing about like a Biloxi would be like I wasn't gonna go, but I would like to visit Biloxi or something. You know what I mean? Like that might be a draw. Like you're drawing people to the tournament based on the location would be
Yeah.
the only reason to pick a different location.
I mean, and being there during the baseball tournament is more appealing because now you're in like late May, where it actually is getting warmer in those areas, and maybe not get in the water type beach time, but definitely sit on the beach type, walk down the beach type times. So
I
yeah.
mean, I guess if you look at it this way, this was the Sun Belt's big foray into being that we're not a shitty conference because we're going to have a conference championship somewhere that's not at a home park.
I mean, I'm okay with rotating through programs.
You are? I mean, because it looks like if you asked me this question, where was it played last? I would have no clue. But thankfully, the internet knows, and it looks like Coastal Carolina hosted the 2019 championship at their stadium. So, and they won it. So it sounds like we had a home field type thing.
Were they in the Sun Belt in 2019?
Yeah,
I don't remember when they joined.
Yeah, they were. They were.
Because I know they won the College World Series the year before they joined the Sun Belt.
18 and 19, they hosted it.
Okay, I would be fine with that. And I would be fine with doing it with Georgia State not even being in the rotation until the new place is built. Like Panthersville is not a place to host. Yeah. I mean, like completely upfront. Like have some minimum qualifications. Like we're going to rotate it through, and maybe this is a way to get other programs to up their quality of their baseball parks or whatever. Is we'll host it, but you've got to be able to at least seat
1,000 in grandstands. Right,
whatever the number is, because I know some of the programs in Sunbelt have really nice ballparks, and I'd have no problem with having it rotate through. I don't know if they need to play multiple games at one time or not. I'm not sure. I don't know if that has any bearing on it or anything, but I'd have no problem with rotating it through different programs. There's 14 schools. Probably not all of them will qualify for the thing.
Right.
Have it established before the season starts. Don't do it like a home field advantage. Don't do it like, Southern Miss is the number 1 ranked team in the conference. They get to host the thing. No, just like the All-Star baseball game is, have it rotate through. We have a set rotation. We know which schools are going to be each year. If you happen to be good that year, kudos for you. But otherwise, it just goes through everything.
Makes sense.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, we could go back to what we were doing, right?
I'd say the same thing for basketball as well.
Just leave Pensacola.
I don't see the
No
the
more
brand.
Uno.
Oh God, not. And then Hot Springs. They were playing in Hot Springs before we joined.
I would never go there.
I've been to Hot Springs. I mean, granted, it was in the '80s.
What's there
But
to do?
well, when you're
Springs.
like when you're 8 years old, not a lot. Stay in the cabin that your parents rented.
Yeah.
Watch your parents and your aunts and uncles get shit faced drunk and talk shit about the people that didn't come. It was family reunion stuff when I went there.
Nice.
I mean, they have all the touristy attractions you can imagine of greater Arkansas rural area. We do have some really crap states in the South, don't we?
Yeah.
What are the worst two Southern states? Arkansas, Mississippi.
Louisiana, Mississippi.
Not Louisiana's not part of the South.
It is.
No, it's not. It's
What
Louisiana.
is it part of? Is it
sucks.
part of Texas? What?
No, it's Louisiana. It sucks. Texas is the West.
I mean, Texas is Texas, and so is Oklahoma.
Oklahoma is definitely not Texas.
Oh, it's North Texas. What are you talking about? Just ask anyone in Texas, and there's a lot more than people in Oklahoma. Don't ask people in Oklahoma though; they get touchy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was looking. I mean, Birmingham would be kind of nice and a little bit better than Montgomery, right? But I just looked up. UAB's stadium is not much
Garbage.
better than Panthersville.
I thought you were going to say we could play our Sun Belt tournament at UAB Stadium.
You could, but
I
yeah,
know it'd be pretty embarrassing.
I mean, I think that the Sunbelt offices should be in Birmingham, and I think as many things as possible should happen as Birmingham. It is very, very central,
and then we should take UAB,
and then we should take UAB.
Yeah,
well, or Georgia State just joins UAB in another conference, whatever.
So
that conference may be.
UAB baseball and UAB softball. The softball stadium is nicer than the baseball stadium,
just like it is in Panthersville,
just like us, and it's close. I think UAB baseball is a little bit better than Panthersville, but not by much. I am super shocked. They're in the American. This is sad looking.
So if they got into American with their facilities, you're saying that we could get into the American with our facilities?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy.
I don't think I'll ever.
Shocking.
I don't think I'll ever get over us not going into the American in this last round of
pulling the trigger when you had an invite. It was a free entry. Just join.
Yup.
Yeah. Allegedly. Oh,
I've never seen the evidence, but I believe the people who have said it. I just haven't seen it. So
yeah. What else we got?
Talk shit about Coach Elliott's son.
Do you have the what was that? A tweet? It was an Instagram story.
What was Instagram?
Yeah.
And where did it come from? I just saw it got posted. Did he just put that out at some point, or?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know if there was more to it or not. Is his son named Sean Elliott too? Or is his son named Sean Elliott SC? Because that's the Instagram handle that it came from.
I unfollowed him, so I can't confirm.
I don't know.
I got tired of seeing South Carolina stuff on my Instagram.
Yeah, it makes sense. He might have just posted something from his kid.
I mean, it looks like a quoted type thing. Maybe I don't know how Instagram works. Maybe he reposted his kid's thing or something like that. Either way, I mean, I get part of this, but effectively he's saying, Sean's son is saying he heard his dad get the job offer to Georgia State. Super upset to leave. They go visit houses in Atlanta. It becomes clear that Atlanta's not home. Mom and kids decide to stay in Columbia. Coach Elliott commutes, and he never knew if he'd ever live in the same house with his dad again, and how hard it was, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I read that and just immediately was like, but there's all kinds of family situations where dad or mom takes a new job in a new city and you move, and yeah, it sucks for the kids sometimes, but you just do it. And he could have played football in Atlanta. There's plenty of good football around Atlanta. They could have moved to Buford or someplace where there's good football and good recruiting and good coach. They could have selected into it and not. I just don't understand the complaint. We had to be in Columbia.
No, that's a child. That's why I feel so weird about talking about this, because it's obviously a kid, and I think this guy is probably still in high school. I don't think he's graduated high school yet, which makes it little touchy to talk about what a kid's saying.
I
But
think your dad shouldn't let you post it. First
well,
of all.
yeah,
Well, put it out there.
I'm sure his dad felt good about it. I'm sure Sean felt like, hey, I made the right decision about moving back here because it was tough on my kid, blah, blah, whatever.
You shouldn't have taken the job if like it was going to be that rough on your kid. Like I don't know. I
You
don't
should
know what to
not
tell
have
you.
gotten into coaching. You don't get into college coaching
Yeah.
if you're afraid of your family having to move. We have somebody who used to work at Georgia State who ended up marrying a football coach, and we're friends on Facebook. And I've seen over the past 10 years, 8-9 years, whatever, how she's moved around to different programs, and she celebrates her husband in every place they've gone. They've had kids, and they move on. And if there's talk of coming back to state or something like that, or back to Atlanta, excited, that would be great.
Right.
But you don't you don't get into sports coaching, specifically college football, and expect to never move. You don't marry somebody who's in college football coaching and expect to never leave. You don't have kids with somebody that's a college football coach and not expect to pick up those kids and move. And this is a luxury of a job to do this type of shit with. Like, talk about military brats. These kids that never spend more than 9 months in the same school, moving around all over the time. Complete different situation, but same kind of concept. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
He was getting paid nearly $900,000 a year here, and didn't want to move his family here. I think Coach Elliott did a lot of great things for this program. He definitely took us over in a time where we needed somebody like his leadership. But could you imagine not just what could have been at Georgia State if he was fully dedicated here 100% of his time, but also think about what this kid's Instagram post is like. What if he did have his dad home every single night? What if he was there because they lived in Alatoona or Lake Lanier or something like that? It could still have
Like
a
any
lake house.
lake. Right.
He could commute from Lake. He could have an apartment in Atlanta and then
Mhm.
still have a lake house in Lake Lanier to do all of his boating and whatever the rum and cokes or whatever the crap he was drinking. He was talking about on the thing. But that kid's life would have been better, and this post wouldn't have existed if they just would have moved to Atlanta or the greater metro area. And Georgia State maybe have gotten over that hump that Coach Elliott took us to every other year when we weren't losing.
Better results, maybe a Sun Belt championship.
Exactly.
I mean, you never know where we could have been if he was more dedicated to the program. I mean, you at this point you cannot say that he was fully dedicated. There's
He was
no way.
never. He
Right.
said that. He's said that now that he was his heart was never here. His heart was always back home in South Carolina. All right, well then, like that sucks for us, right? I mean that really sucks that you took this job and then mailed it in. I mean that's really
Right.
shitty. And I know AD Cobb doesn't give a shit because it's his buddy, I guess. But like that, it's inexcusable.
I don't
It's
think
crazy.
Elliott's a head coach ever again. I think he's done.
I don't know what he
I don't
does.
think-
I mean, like,
Well,
has he?
where would he go? I mean, he'd have to go somewhere in South Carolina, I guess, because he loves it so much and he can't leave.
But close enough to home.
Like, has he made enough money to not have to work anymore? I mean,
I don't
I know
think so.
Well, you
800,
could go.
900.
You could be a high, you could have squirreled some
making
way
good
and then go
bank.
be a high school coach or something. Whatever.
And I think that's what it'd be like. He may be a high school coach or something like that. South Carolina's not been like kicking ass over there. I don't know how long Shane Beamer's going to be there, and is the next coach going to keep him around just because he's local?
I feel like they drop him. Like most of the
Yeah.
time they
Really
clean
loves the
house and you're
program.
done.
Head coaches love to have brand new slate of guys. Like, look at it. We lost Dan Ellington when McGee came here, and that sucked. I hated it.
Mhm.
Makes sense. He
Mhm.
wants his guys, and it's probably the best thing that could have happened to Dan Ellington. Look at what he's doing now. He's over to Indiana. It was Indiana, Illinois. He went to Illinois.
Yeah.
He went over. He became an OC to JUCO, and less than a year later, he's already over at a P5, P4 program. And maybe Dan finds his way back to Georgia State at some point. Awesome. Hope that happens. Would love to see it.
Mhm. Mhm.
But maybe that was the kick in the ass that he needed.
Fair.
Maybe.
I don't know. It was just a weird post.
It was a weird post. I mean, I read the whole thing and I was like, was this even necessary? Did you have to post this to social media? What did you get out of this
Yeah.
by posting it? Like, it just doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't seem necessary.
Yeah, like I said, his heart was never here, and you see a lot of coaches that, especially when they get their start. So like Spurrier, his mentor Spurrier got his start at Duke. Did Spurrier go to Duke? I know he got his coaching career started at
Not
Duke,
sure.
but he got his coaching career started at Duke, and he always had a special place in his heart at Duke. That's where he got started. He'd always put them in his first preseason poll. He'd always put Duke as number 25 until they lost a game because he felt indebted to Duke for everything. I don't think Coach A will ever think twice about Georgia State ever again.
Probably
You're
not.
talking about Spurrier or Coach K?
Spurrier.
Spurrier went to the University of Florida.
Yeah, but he was I think his first head coaching job, it was Duke, I think.
Oh, head coaching jobs. Got it.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Georgia Tech.
Spurs attack. I didn't know that.
Apparently. Well, no. I'm Duke. So, yeah.
Yep.
Georgia
I just read the
Tech.
story.
Interesting.
What was his position at what did he coach at Tech?
QBs.
QB coach. Well, makes sense. He's a great quarterback coach.
Yeah. OCQB at Duke for 2 years. Then Tampa Bay Bandits. Don't know what that is. Then Duke again. Then Florida. He's at Florida for what, 11?
Where was his NFL career? He was like Washington.
The Redskins. You let us say that?
For a year, 2 years, something like that. He wasn't there very long.
2002 to 2003, yeah. And then South Carolina. And then the Orlando Apollos. You know what that is?
Oh, is it Arena?
No, isn't that the league AAF?
Oh,
the Falcons,
the Alliance,
the Legends,
the Lions. Yeah, what a horrible fucking thing.
I went to that game.
Somebody either was a Saints fan or had no idea about Atlanta branding and Atlanta culture to have made the Legends look the way they did. I'm going to a friend's kid's birthday party on Sunday that's Mardi Gras themed because of the time of the year. Yeah. And I'm dressing myself and all of my kids in Falcons attire because I will not be around any kind of New Orleans style anything.
You're going to push down the Mardi Gras vibe with Falcons.
Yeah, they're making gumbo. I mean, gumbo's good, but
gumbo is freaking good. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We done?
Do we make fun of the kid enough?
I mean, we were nice. We were.
I think we're really making fun of Sean.
It was more about Sean.
Yep. The kid was being a whiny brat, but sorry, that's rude.
Nah, we're fine. I just don't think it was necessary. Like, he should know better. And then Sean Elliott should know better than to repost it. That I think is the bigger one.
That's weird.
There's no reason for it. Like,
I still love Sean. I still love what he did for us, but
I did too. He was super fun, like way energetic. Obviously, more so than McGee.
Nice to us. Came on. We got to interview him.
Interview, yeah.
So respect for him there. So, yeah.
All right.
Anyhow, all right, cool. That's it. We'll talk to you guys next week. Peace out. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.